Hi everyone, good morning or good afternoon, it depends on the location. My name is Tamás Kugler, I'm the head of the technical support team here at the HQ of Lightware Visual Engineering, and I will be the host for this webinar. Today's webinar topic is deep technical insight of Lightware Device Controller and Event Manager, and will be presented by my colleague Zoltán Györfi, who is a technical support engineer. Zoltán has been working for Lightware for about 16 years. I hope I'm right. He started as a firmware developer, then he joined our support team. So he has a great knowledge and experience, not only on the devices, but even he knows the firmware side of the story. So he has a great knowledge. He is the main developer for our Cisco Lightware integration as well, but the topic is not the Cisco integration, but Zoltán will show how firmware update can be done on Lightware devices using our application called Lightware Device Updater. Then he will introduce our other software, the Lightware Device Controller, that is our control software. He will show the built-in functions of this software that helps doing the necessary steps during the system setup in a commissioning phase of an installation, and also that how it can be useful during troubleshooting as well when it is needed. Then our simple control solution, the Event Manager, will be brought into the limelight, and all these topics will be presented and demonstrated on a real system that is assembled on Zoltán desks. Part of it can be seen right now. One note that usually we do webinars in one of our meeting rooms with a nice background that is set up for this purpose. Now you can see a kind of living room environment around us. I guess the situation is familiar for most of you, that because the new coronavirus, we are in home office, we work from home. So sorry for the not so nice background. During the webinar, you can follow us on webcams. Zoltán has even 2 webcams for the better experience, and even he will show his screen when he touches the software details. Depending on the device you are following us, you can see both type of content, the shared screen and the webcam together, and you can resize the windows as you want. Or if you have smartphone, then you can swipe left and right between these 2 contents. During the webinar, your mics will be muted as default, but I encourage you to submit your questions at any time during the webinar. I'm going to try to answer directly the questions if I can, and at the end of the webinar we will have a question and answer session when we will select those questions that can be interesting for everyone. Of course, it depends on how much time we will have. You can use the question panel to submit your questions. One note and one request: please submit your question as one comment. Don't use the enter on your keyboard, because the system otherwise breaks up your question into separate comments, and it will be difficult for us to do the follow-up. Okay, so after these technical details, I think now it's time to start the dive into the technical details. I can see that Zoltán is ready. So Zoltán, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Tamás, and hello everyone. So today I'm going to show you everything what's needed for deploying or commissioning a system when you are on site. It's especially very good if you are a technician, a project designer, a system designer, and so on. So right now I just first I would like to start what's in my room. So let me switch my camera on, my second one. Yes. So I just show my screen. Hopefully everyone can see my shared screen. So here I prepared with a Lightware unit, which is MMX 8x4 HD420M. This is a 8 input, 4 output unit with HDBaseT expansion. For this unit, this will be my main unit. And for this unit, I'm using our table extender, which is a HDBaseT extender. This is a UMX TPS TX140 Plus. And for room control availabilities, I'm using my room automation panel, which is the REP B511. In my room, I have a room PC connected to my input 5. I have this table source, which will be fed with this laptop, actually, connected to my HDBaseT port, the first one. I have a big display. This is an LG signage display. We are going to put image on that screen, and we are going to make control of that screen like on and off. Also in my room, I have a lamp, a nice lamp there, which is connected by a relay box, and the relay contact output is used in our relay output ports, because the MMX 8x4 actually has 4 pieces of relay contact ports. So I'm using the first one, and I have a motion detector, a motion sensor up here. And for this, I'm connected to the GPIO port, which is I'm using like the first 2 ports, because this unit has 6 pieces of GPIO ports. And nearly that's all. Yeah. So this is my setup, and let's build up a real life scenario when you own this project. You need to go to on-site, what to do, how to make the setups to make a scenario done. So at first, I'm just starting with an updater. So let me open my browser, because I just let you know how to do a software or a firmware upgrade for our units. So I'm going to upgrade my room automation panel, because that's quicker than the others. So I just open my browser. We need to navigate to lightware.com, and once we landed in the page, I'm just able to search for this product from the product page. But for me, it's easier to just type REP B511, the type of that product, and hit enter to search it. And I'm here. I just found my product. I just need to click on this. This is our product page. We are able to find as many information from here, but we need to keep rolling down. And in here, in this section, we are able to find the download page, the file download page. And in here, we are able to download the catalog, the product brief, the user manual. And for now, I'm just go and use the software section, this section right here. So updating the device, we need at first the software, which is we call Lightware Device Updater. I'm using the Windows version because I have the Windows, but we have for Mac and for Linux. So what we need to do, we just need to head to download, click on that, and that will be downloaded. No registration needed for this. Once it's downloaded, you need to install, and that's all. So this Lightware Device Updater is a one and only. No, this is a software just for upgrading the new Lightware devices, and you are able to do several updates with that one. So my next software that I need in my installation is to have the Lightware device controller, because I would like to make some setup and make some control for my Lightware units. So I need to download the Lightware device controller, which is really a one and only control software for all of the Lightware devices. So I just need to navigate to download and download this one also. Right now I'm not downloading because I have it on my computer, so it will be useless for me. But for you, that's perfect if you would like to try out, or if you have a Lightware device. So this is the second. And the third, the most important file we need to download, this is the firmware package. So I have a release note for it. I'm able to download. No, I'm not downloading it, but I just need to download the new firmware package, because I'm going to show you how to upgrade the product. So once your Lightware device updater is up and running, I mean you download it and install it, you just need to get here to firmware package, download, and once it's downloaded, you will find it in here in the bottom left corner. And when it's finished downloading, you just need to double click on that, like I do. And finally, the Lightware device updater will pop up. It will open up the exact same firmware package file. Okay, here we are. So this is our Lightware device updater. And actually, because I double clicked on the file, it's actually opened my package file. So only thing I need to do is to go to the bottom left corner, search for devices. And if my room automation panel is on my network, yes, it's found it, then it will find it. So actually, if you have more room automation panels, then it will be a list here. So let's say you are able to update more units. But how to make the upgrade itself? You just need to select your particular unit. So just clicking on this green box, select it, make it green. And once it's green, you just need to click on Start Update. And we give you, this software gives you a progress bar up here and down here. So we need to wait around 1 or 2 minutes. Till that time, I am able to tell you that, let's say you have an office and you deploy or commission, for example, 10 huddle rooms like we do right now. In that case, you would have like 10 pieces of room automation panel elements. And you are able to select all of these room automation panels. With the same one file, you are able to upgrade all of them simultaneously. So you actually just need to wait some minutes till it's done. So we are nearly finished actually while I'm talking, but I would like to show you that we have some details. This is more for those type of companies who need a really detailed log what's happening here. So I just can click on that and I'm able to check what's going on. If there is something wrong, like for example, there is a power loss during the upgrade, or there is a network loss, then it will be shown up here. But that shouldn't be happen. So my upgrade just finished. Click on OK. I just close this box. And that's all. That was the upgrade for our room automation panel. We don't need to do anything else. So actually, it's done. So that same steps we have for all of the Lightware devices, but for the bigger ones, it takes a bit longer, like 1 or 2 more minutes we need. So that's okay. I just close my updater because I don't need it. We finished with this part of the today's webinar. So just hit the X and exit, and yeah, this is another one. It's opened accidentally, so I just close this one. So okay, I just close my browser also, and because The next part is a quick tour about Lightware device controller. I already have it and I already started it, so I just click on to open it, parallelly showing up with my screen. So when you download the Lightware device controller and launch it, you will get the exact same picture, depending on what type of units are connected to your network. So on my network, I have the UMX TPS TX140 Plus, the room automation panel, and the MMX 8x4. Today's webinar will be done at first with the MMX 8x4. So I'm just doing a kind of quick tour just with the Lightware device controller, and after we start making or preparing our setup. So how to connect to a Lightware unit? Just simply click on this element or any elements, which ones you are need to connect it to, and you are able to double click on that, or you are able to click on connect. So this is how it works. Now I enlarge my screen to have a bigger view. So once you connect it to a unit, you always land in a cross-point view, which will be a video cross-point view. So here, I need to mention that in the first line, we are able to see the inputs of the unit. So my MMX 8x4 has 8 pieces of inputs. And on the right side, we have the outputs, and this has 4 pieces of video output and 1 analog audio, main audio output. So this is the cross-point view. In here, we are able to see, we are able to make cross-point switches like we are able to do by just clicking on the big buttons in the center part. So in here, like I just select this input and output 2. So input 1, I need to switch to output 2. Just click on that and you're done. So this is easy. Another parameters I'm going to show you in here. Just if we click on an input, we are able to see the parameters, the port name. We are able to mute the signal. We can toggle the HDCP functionality here. We are able to get or gather the information about if we have 5 volt present, signal type, HDCP, resolution, frame detector, CEC control, and so. In the next some minutes, we go and deep dive into. So right now, I just skip that because that's a quick tour just in the moment. For the outputs, we have very similar information. We have auto select function, which can be enabled, disabled. We are going to use that. We have a signal type force, so we are able to make the signal like force to DVI or HDMI. We are able to force the HDCP to have HDCP encrypted signal all the time. We are able to have a test pattern on my screen. We are able to see if there is a display connected, what's the resolution we get by the EDID from that display, what's the name of that display, and what's the signal property. So what is the signal going out to my display from the Lightware unit? And we have information about if this display is HDCP capable or not. Here we have a frame detector also, and we have a CEC control, nice controller. So that's all for now for the video part. Let's jump into the audio part of this unit. So clicking on this audio tab, I'm opening up, and in here we are opening up our nice DSP functionality of our Lightware unit. So just a quick tour on here, what we are able to do. So in here, we have a microphone input, which is actually, I just pop this out here. So just to see on my camera. So we have a microphone input with phantom power and so many things. We are able to do that, but I wouldn't like to make a device-specific webinar right now, but more control software and the Event Manager and the Lightware protocol specific one. So microphone input can be found in here in this 3-port connector. We have analog audio input, which can be found in the next connector, this one. We are able to make some inputs from our HDMI connectors. So if I click on here, up here, there is a list that I can select from which inputs or outputs I would like to use to get the audio signal back. And finally, I can treat the signal. I can make EQ, high pass filter, low pass filter, and so. And finally, I can have this analog audio output signal on my analog audio output port, which can be found here. So this is my DSP output, and in here I'm able to change my volume also, or mute and unmute. So same functionality like each port can have. So today we are going to use this part soon, but let's dive into EDIDs. And here, my Lightware unit has EDID capabilities for sure. So on the left side, we are able to see the source EDIDs, and on the right side, we are able to see the destination EDIDs. So if you really need just one piece of resolution all the time, we prefer to search for that resolution in the resolution part of here. Let's say I would like to have full HD resolution with 2-channel audio. Find this one. This is F47, and actually how to emulate the EDID to have it on my input port to feed to put that EDID to the source side. Actually, I just need to select that source, and I can use this big button, click on that, and it will be emulated there. Or if I need to have a display EDID emulated, then I can click on this dynamic. This is all the EDIDs we can copy from the connected displays. Like here, I have this signage, and I can emulate the EDID same way. Or if I would like to make this EDID to the user space, I just need to click on the user EDID and select one empty slot. Click on this button. I'm just clicking it, and this one saved here. And next time I come back to the user space on the source side, and I can emulate that EDID for all of my sources. But that's all for EDIDs. We are able to get information about this EDID, many things we can have. We can edit that EDID, but today's topic is not about EDID. Next time maybe we do that topic. So next step is the control tab. Here we are able to find all the control parameters which can be done with this Lightware box. So as we see, the first tab is about the serial port. This unit has so many serial ports. These 2 ports, we can find it in here, serial port 1 and 2. And this is a standard RS2C2 port. This 2 ports, this is a mixed UR port, so we are able to find it here. This can be used for IR emitting, and no, this can be used for IR inputs, yeah, and this can be used for actually serial transmitter port, but this is a TTL level. So if you would like to use these 2 ports for real serial application, then you need to connect TTL to RS2C2 converter here. I would like to talk about that all of our TPS ports, like from inputs 1 to input 4 and output 1 to output 2, these ports I'm talking about, and these 2 ports. These ports are HDBaseT ports. So for these ports, we are able to reach the serial connection. So let's say you have an extender or HDBaseT source or a display, yes, we can send control signals to that port by serial port. So that's about serial settings. We are able to change the baud rate, the control method. We can use command injection, many things we can do. We can send messages to third-party units. So next topic is the GPIO. This unit has 6 pieces of GPIO. We can find it here in this Phoenix connector series. So in here, we are able to make a GPIO like input, or we are able to make it to output. And if it's output, then we are able to toggle it. Today, we are going to make a demo with that, because my GPIO motion detector, this one, is actually using my GPIO 1 and 2. Next topic is the relays. This unit has 4 relay ports, and today we are going to use that because my lamp is connected to that relay port, like here, with an external relay box. And next is Ethernet. So this unit has plenty of network ports. As HDBaseT port can have Ethernet port, we are able to put that Ethernet content to the far end, like for the display, if you have a HDBaseT display, or if you have a HDBaseT receiver, we are able to pass that Ethernet functionality there. So for all of these HDBaseT ports, we are able to enable or disable that port. So if you need to have that Ethernet transmission, yes, you are able to enable it. It's enabled by default, but if you don't need it, or if it's caused some loop in the network, you can disable it. So that's how it works. Next topic, next step is the IR. So because we have these two mixed, we have 4 pieces of IR inputs. So in here, we are able to connect my IR receiver, and we are able to send also. That's why we have this send protox message. But if we configure it to an input, then we are able to capture information. Like we are able to use a remote and control. We can control the unit with the IR, but we need to build the event. And next topic, I just enlarged this back again, the events. Today we will spend a lot of time on here on this tab, because this is our kind of control system, but it's actually we are not a control system, but that's why we call it Event Manager, because here we have our event slots. This unit can have up to 1 event, up to 100 events. So what the event means, I just click on 1 just to make a quick round. So actually, if there is a condition fulfilled in the unit, then we will take an action. So let's say there is an incoming signal present. I can send something to my system. Today we will use it a lot, because today's topic mainly is the Event Manager and Lightware protocol. So I just close it because we will spend a lot of time on here today. So next menu element is the settings. In here we are able to see the operation time, the firmware version of the CPU. We are able to get the CPU temperature, the system temperature, many things, and voltages. We are able to change the label for the device, and so. So these are the minimum and the maximum values. So if it's outside from the limit, it will be like marked with yellow, or if it's warning, and if it will be red if it's out of the limit. So if there is an issue, you are able to check that, okay, what's my temperature? Maybe the unit is overheated, and that's why it's doing something wrong. So next settings is my network. All my network parameters can be set it here. This is a label for Lightware 2 protocol. Today we are not going to use that, but we are using the LW3 port, which is our latest Lightware protocol, using it. And the protocol number is, no, the port number. We use a TCP interface for it, and the TCP number is 6107. So we are going to use a lot today. Backup tab. If we are finished with our exact setup, and the room is working nicely with our automated and button pressed solution, next we are able to create a backup for this system. And if you would like to deploy, this backup will generate a file. And with that file, you are able to connect to another Lightware unit, like to your next room. And on that next room, you just need to use the same Lightware device controller, connect to the next room, so LW3 8x4, and come to here to settings backup, choose backup file, open that backup file, and once it's restoring the setting, you have the same experience, you have the same functionality on that room. So this is how to copy one room to another room by device. Next tab here is the system. From here, we are able to get the system logs, and we are able to make this unit to factory default. Also, we can reboot this device. So that was my quick tour about the Lightware device controller. So let's go and deep dive into my setup. So I just get back to cross-point view and video page, because right here I just would like to define my scenario, because I'm on site. I updated all of my Lightware units with the Lightware device updater. It's up and running, but there is no functionality. There is no controlled functions right now. So what I'm able to do, I just need to follow my customer's request. My customer's request is, please have a room PC on the room, and if my room PC turned on, then please turn on my display. Also, if I connect a laptop to my table extender, please switch that content to my display. If my laptop is removed, then switch back to the room PC if we have a signal on that. If there is no signal from the laptop or from the room PC because it's turned off, then please turn off the display. So that's my basic scenario. This will be our first scenario. So what I'm going to do at first, I will do some short demo about how to do this. So my room PC actually is here in the top of, I placed on the top of the LW3 8x4. For here, my HDMI connector is coming from the output and connected to my input file. So as we see, this particular port lights up green. So let me unplug this cable just to show you why it's green. So I just unplug it. That green part went away. If I plug it back, it will come back soon once it starts sending image. So this green bar means if it's green, then you have incoming signal. So this is a very good tool for troubleshooting. So, you know, if there is no signal, why I don't have signal on my screen? You can come back to this control software, check it if it's green, and if the output is green, then you need to have signal at the input and the output side. So I just click on this button and I show you what I still have. So I just enlarge this, because yeah, that's a nice thing that we have this tool, but what else we have? So in the status, as I mentioned, we have this green showing up there is a signal present. But if I click on this element, I'm able to gather the status information, resolution, and so. And we have a frame detector function. So I open this one also and put it right here. So if I click on this, I'm able to see what's the exact pixel coming in, what's the frequency, horizontal and vertical frequency in here, and what's the measured pixel clock. So inside we are using chips which are able to measure the exact signal, the incoming signal, and we copy the information to your screen about this. So let's see how it works in live. I just unplug my signal again. It will go away. So actually, you are able to see that there is no resolution, no information, because it's there is no 5 voltage, no signal present, no resolution, even no green bar. But when I place back this, put back this cable, my PC starts reading the EDID from here, and after it's done, it starts sending image, and therefore we are able to measure. So we are able to see that, okay, this 5 volt present is actually there, and we have a nice resolution, and we have a nice stable CEA standard HDMI signal. So that's how it works. Actually, all of this information can be used in our system. So let's say I just would like to use this for my switcher. But for this, at first, I just would like to make my system to have it later in different purposes. So I just click back on here, and I'm able to relabel this. Just, you know, if you get back to this place like a year later, then you will be able to know that, okay, which inputs are used at the time of the configuration. So this will be room PC. Hit enter, that's my name. And in output 4, I have my display, so I just call it display and hit enter. And that's all. And on my HDBaseT input, I have my table extender, so this will be table. Once we are in here, I just would like to show you another cool thing, which will be good for troubleshooting purposes. Yes, this unit, this part of the unit still have the 5 volt present, the signal present, and HDCP mode and capabilities and resolution. And beside the frame detector, we also have cable diagnostics too. So once I click on here, I'm able to gather the information about the state of the cable. So right now, I just don't have a proper connection because there is no information about. And once I put my signal into my laptop, just to feed this HDBaseT unit, we will see that the HDBaseT activated because it was in low power mode, earlier cable source. We are able to have the signal error rate, which is, if you see green here, then the signal is perfect. There is without any issues. If it's going up and going to turn to orange, then your signal getting weak. And if it starts going up and up, turn to red, then that means that you really have a very bad connection. So, but what's about? So let's say we are able to measure that error rate, but what's good for it? So let's say you have a very long HDBaseT cable, like here. I just make my window up, or not this way, but let's say this way, just to have the proper information. So here, I just unplug this cable, just to show you that if I unplug, it goes away. Even my HDBaseT unit don't get power because I'm not using the DC connector, but I'm using just the PoE functionality from my Lightware unit. So when I put back, the units start powering up soon, start booting up. Finally, if the unit is booted up, my laptop is able to read the EDID, it starts sending the image, and finally we have a image, incoming image from this table source by this green bar. So actually that's arrived. So here we are. So if you have a crappy system, like you have noise or some picture drops and so, I highly recommend to use this tool. If these numbers are moving a lot, then that will be a problem. It's reached orange or green, but if orange or red part, but if it's green, then you have no issues. You are able to gather this information by a table. So I just enlarge it because it's a constantly populating table. And you are able to have it in chart just to see if it's dropping now or not. I just unplug it just to see it will drop. Yeah, it's dropping down. I plug it back, and soon we will get back this signal information. So these data also can be used or can be gathered in the Lightware unit. Especially we can use our Event Manager for it, and we are able to use it from third parties. So later I'm show it to you, but for now I just close this part. Okay, so that was the quick tour for the HDBaseT setup. So I just come back here and do my scenario. So I have a table source and I have a room PC, and actually what I need to have, I need to make my scenario. So which is, if there is a room PC signal comes, then please switch to there, and if the table is comes, then please switch to here. If I unplug the table, then switch back to room PC. For this, I'm just going to use the standard auto switcher function, which can be reached on each output port. So I'll just click on that. And in here, we are able to get to auto select function. Right now is disabled. So I'm just enable the auto select. Okay, but what type of auto select function do we have? So we have the first detect. If there is a signal coming in at first, then it's switch there and stays there. If there is a new signal comes, there will be a no switch. There is another which called last detect. So whatever new incoming signal comes to a different port, then it will be switched to that port. But right today we are using the priority detect. Why? Because my priorities are on the laptop and not on the room PC. So priority, I just enabled the priority detect, and here is my priority list. Actually, the lowest number means the highest priority, and the highest number means the lowest priority. So my input 1 has the 0, so this is the highest priority. Actually, I can turn these ports off because I don't need it. But if you have it enabled, then that will not cause any issue because there are no connected signal right today. So just set properties and that's all. So my auto select function is just set, and you may notice that something happened here. So there is a switch automatically happened. So from now we are able to see a difference in this button. So there is a letter A, which means auto select enabled. So this means that my unit is this output has this functionality. So I just unplug my HDMI signal or HDMI connector from my table laptop just to show you that how it's make the switch. So I'm not doing my hands, so no tricks. I just plug it out, and once the software has realized that there is no signal on my table, it's switched to the next priority. And from now you are able to see that there is the room PC switched there automatically. I just put back just to show how this works. So I'm not touching anything. The auto switch starts working, and from now it's like switch back to there. that's cool. So right now we have this functionality. I unplug again just to go ahead with my demo. But that's good. Auto switch works nice, but we may see another kind of, let's say, an issue. If I have my room PC switched to my display, why I don't have image on my screen? Okay, this is the part when control comes to the picture, and we need to take some of the new advantages of this unit. So I click on this display and open up my output properties and put it right here, enlarge it, and I just keep rolling down. So I know that my particular display is a LG UH5C series display, which is a signage or professional display, which means that nearly the latest signage and professional displays have the standard CEC capabilities. This is so important because if you have signage or a professional CEC display, then you are able to control that display with CEC. But if you don't have it, but you have a serial or Ethernet controllable display, then yes, we are able to do the control from serial port from this Lightware unit or Ethernet support from this Lightware unit. But right today, I'm just doing it with the CEC interface. So I just mention, because that's a must-know information, that if you pick up consumer display, any type of display, then it's, let's say, a Samsung consumer TV or an LG consumer TV, that will not support all the CEC functions. So before you buy your particular display or TV, make sure that your display is able to make many CEC controls, and this is and the display can use standard CEC functions. Okay, so my display able to do it, so I just able to use that this remote controller. But this remote controller is planned mainly for sources, like we see, it's like for media players mainly. So for displays, we are able to use the standby and image view on commands. So I just search for that commands from here, from this drop-down list. We are able to find it in the very last section. So I just select my image view on, and once I click on, I just need to click on send, and I just put this a bit more down. And once I click on send, we will see that something will happen on my display. Bam. So we just saw a pop-up logo there, which means our display just turned on. And from now, what we are able to see, we are able to see the right selection from my room PC, which is feeding my display. So, okay, but that's so cool, but how we are able to turn off the display if that's needed. So I just click on the same list and I select the standby. Once I clicked, I just need to click on send again, and this will send a standby signal to my display, which means it starts powering down. So that's easy, that's how it works. So let's make my scenario, because the request is the following. The request is the following: when if I have signal coming from the room PC or the table, make the switch to that particular. Like if just the room PC is there, then switch to the display. If the table is feeding, then always have it on the table. So here comes the event manager into the picture. So click on control and events, and in here we are able to start filling up our events. So how to make that? Click on the EDID edit, sorry, and in here I just make an event for you. What's our condition right now? So because if room PC or laptop both case, which means if there is a signal at the output, then we need to have the display on. And if there is no signal on the output, after some minutes, in our case some seconds, we turn off the display. So we will do that to this scenario. So switching, clicking on the category, we are able to get into video category. And the expression is if I have signal on a port, which port? On my output port 4, because that's where my display is connected to. Apply. Then we have the condition. If output signal, if the output 4 has a signal, then please send CEC, the command image you on, to my output port 4, which is the same display. So if that output port has a signal, then send CEC image you on that port, and you just able to label like display on, hit enter to set the name and enable that, and that will be done. This was the setup for the display on, but we need to make the turn off. So I pick up next empty event, and in here following the same condition with if there is no signal. So if there is no video signal not detected on that port, on the port number 4, apply. I just make a continuous delay. So if let's say I just make a setup for that would be 5 minutes in real life mainly, but I just have it for 5 seconds just to make a quicker webinar. Apply this setting. So what does it mean? If I don't have signal continuously for 5 seconds, then I will take the action. So my action is the same, CEC send command, but right now I just send the display to display standby, and on output 4, apply, and name it as display off, set the name, enable the event to have availability, and that's all. Okay, but we should know that, okay, if I did it in a right way or not. Let's see how we are able to check this functionalities. So at first, in this section, we have a test button up here, and we are able to test the action. So if I click on here, the device should be on, so the display should be on. So I click on test, and I'm enabled. Yes, my RG logo come up, and my display image gonna show up, and click on here to make another test to make the display off. I click there, the display went down, and that's all. So we see that that's working nice with the test, but let's do a real life application. So right now I don't have my laptop signal, as we are able to see from here, and I will unplug my room PC to not have signal from there. For this reason, I will not have a signal at the output, but I just get back to the control section, and I tell you how it should look like. So if there is a condition fulfilled, there will be a detect LED green in here, and if the action succeeded, then there will be a green LED here for a short time. If another condition fulfilled, there will be another LED green bar here, and same here. So with I just unplug my cable just to show up what we have fulfilled. So yeah, you are able to see that it's detected. So after 5 seconds, if there is no signal, done. So it's triggered. And actually we have a counter up here to show up how many times did this event happen. So actually with this, you are able to see how many times your room PC or your system turn on and off. So I'm able to put back my cable to this port just to see that if we start feeding signal, I'm able to see that, okay, this triggered and also this triggered, and beside this, my auto switch function triggered. So I have the image there. So that's how it works. So actually, this is how it works. And this was my first scenario doing the Event Manager. And the next scenario is my customer asking me to, hey Zoltan, please, beside this signal properties, we need to have a light on all the time when someone enters the room. Okay, so how we are able to do that? So that's why here is my lamp and my motion detector. So I'm going to show you how this works. So it's easy. I just need to head to relay at first. And because my lamp, this one, is connected to a relay box, you are not able to see because it's under the table, but the end contact is connected to here, because these are like low current capability relay contact outputs. So you are not able to put like 230 or 110 voltage there to power up a big lamp. You just need to have another control box here. These ports are mainly for controlling curtains, shades, blinds, and projector screens. But today I'm using it for light control. So how I am able to control this, I just need to click on this open, and this will release my contact. If I contact it close, ta-da, my lamp is on. So this is how I'm able to toggle my lights on and off, or actually I can do it from here. So that's easy how it works. So, but I need to make a kind of automation with the Event Manager. So the next step is to make the setting for my GPIO. In the GPIO section, I have the motion detector, this one, connected to this GPIO port, the first two. And the one GPIO port is used for giving a ground pin for my motion detector, and the other port will be my input. So I set this port up to output, and I set this to low, and that's how it works. And because it's in low, I just make the other port setting to have as input. Okay, this is output low. If I turn this on, yeah, and if I put my hands there, like, okay, it's not working, so I made a mistake, maybe. So I need to maybe power up my unit or reconnect. Let's say, no, that's not working. So what if I just made a difference? Okay. Okay, let me double check this port because that's so important to have. Okay, now it's working. So if I come back here, I made these settings to output low, to have always grounded. So if there is no connection, this input shows low, and this is like down. And when I put my hands up here to make that small this LED as LED to trigger my action, it will change to high. So when I press this, you're able to see that's high, and also it's coming up when I put my hands there. And if there is no handshake there, my handshake, then there is low. So we are going to use this one. We just need to add the setup as input and this one as output and low. That's all. Now come back to events and search a new empty event. Click on here. In the wizard, I can come to if there is a GPIO, because I connected to GPIO 1 here. If GPIO change to high on port number 1, apply. Then please set my relay, close my contact on port number 1, apply, and this will be my motion sensed set name, and this will turn on my lamp if it's turned on. So that's my next scenario. I just kill this off, and let's see if it's working or not. I'm not using the test right now, but I just put my hands there, thumb, so it's turned on. So let's do some demo. I just manually override this to switch down my lamp. So that's working nicely. The event manager triggers the action. And in here, we are able to see that 3 times I put my hands there, 3 times I entered the room, and for this scenario, my lamp is on. And that's nice. That's working fine. Okay, but what's next? My next scenario is to make some change by a third party, and actually I'm gonna use the third party as this Lightware unit, the room automation panel, which is actually not a third party but a Lightware unit, but I'm going to use as a control unit. For this, I would like to show you how we are able to control our units from different devices, so not from the event manager inside, which lives in the box actually, but how we are able to control the Lightware unit by Ethernet from another Lightware unit like room automation panel or like Crestron, Extron, or AMX control unit. So for this, I just make my Lightware device controller back, and I just come here to the advanced view, because here is the thing what is very useful for the programmers. So if I click on advanced view, I will have a full protocol guide and the protocol structure in my desktop. So in the middle, I can see the Lightware protocol, the nodes. We are able to get into this node. We are able to get back the parameters, and also we are able to see what's going on the protocol itself. Lightware device controller actually uses the same Lightware protocol as I'm talking about our Open API soon. So there is no kind of hidden features. All the functionalities you are able to reach from the Lightware device controller, you are able to reach from your third party or from your room automation panel. So let's say at first I'm doing input signal test. So I'm just go to media, video, and let's say if there is an input signal on input number 5, that's my PC, room PC's input signal. We are able to gather all the information. These are the this information will be put on my other screen, which is like this screen. If I click on here, so you are able to find all the same information like signal info, signal status, display, and so. So if I come back to this view, we are able to see that exact same. We have signal type, we have signal present, and so. If you don't know what these characters or values mean, you just can click on manual, and you have small information or short information about what these values mean. So if there is a 0, then there is no signal present. If there is 1, then signal is present. If there is F, then it's an unknown sigma or unknown property or unknown state. We are there. So that's easy to do. And how we are able to get this information? Actually, we are able to use the Lightware protocol. For this, I'm going to get back to my Lightware.com and just come to support and open API environment, because for a short documentation you are able to get this from here. So this page is about our Open API, what you can get it, and so and so. I don't want to read that for you, but if we are come down, there is a download Open API white paper. If I click on here, I'm able to have a document. If I this is same Open API, how it's work, some story behind, and so on. So I just roll down because I just search for the important parts. So here is the important part, LW3. That's the protocol we are using. How it should be terminated, like with carriage return and line feed. What port this has to be used, like is the TCP port number 6107. What type of structure do we have in a natural way? How we are able to launch a command like a cross-point switch. Here is an example for that. What's the format for that call command, if it's that function? If you would like to have feedback information, how to get that information, if you need to make a setting, how to make that set information, and so and so. So there is a nice document here you are able to find online. But I click on back here, and because my Lightware unit, I would like to control my MX 8x4. So I come to here and type MX 8x4, and I select my model. And in here, I click on here, and what I'm doing, I navigate to file downloads again. And now I'm not going to download any software. I just come to user manual, click on download, because from here, we are able to see once we reach the table of contents here, nearly all of our Lightware units have table contents 6 and 7. 6 was the simplest and a bit older Lightware 2 protocol, but we have the Lightware 3 protocol in here, which has nearly all of the functionalities can be reached from this protocol. So I click on that because there is a link, and in here we are able to see the device specific protocol information. Actually, the Lightware version 3 protocol is a kind of standard by Lightware, but different devices can have different type of settings, properties, and so. So I highly recommend, if you are a programmer or you design your system and you need to know what's the correct command to make a setting from your third party. So that's the way. Come to the device user manual, find the programmer's reference for LW3, and from here you are able to have every detail. It's a long, so I'm not stopping to tell you what's about and how it's working, because it's a really long documentation regarding our protocol. So everything you are able to find in your device, you are able to find it in this documentation. So it's like crazy long. So that's, I just keep rolling just to say we still on the protocol guide. So that was the last page. So it's a long. Now I just close this window, and okay, you have the protocol guide. Okay, you have the document, but let's say you weren't able to find it, or you don't have Ethernet connection, but you are still connected to the device. You have a small button up here. It's Lightware Protocol Help. If you click on here, you are able to get the standard small Open API functionalities. So it's a kind of quick tour about what's the format, how you are able to do, and kind of that. So same information in short, you are able to get it from here. So that's how it works. And now let's start to do some tests. I just make this smaller. So at first, I just let's say I just would like to make my light up and down because that's the easiest to show in real life. So my light is in media and in relay and in port number 1, and that's all. So there is a toggle function. If I click on here, I can toggle my lamp. In between, I am able to see that there is an output parameter for this particular relay port, and that's now in C. So what that C means, click on manual. There is two setting can be available, or two value setting. One is O and one is C. Let's try the other one. So the O with O, set O. So O means open, so it can be figured out from the protocol if this manual not talks about. If I put C, then set, and that's all. So this is how it works. In the meantime, we are able to see that there is something happening on the left side. So I just copy this part of the protocol. So copy and paste it right here. So what, when I did some change here and click on send, what happened? There is a message sent out to my unit. So what was the message? It was a comment with set media relay port number 1 output port equals to, let's say, open, to make it open. Yeah. Let's say paste it again, and let's say close, just to turn on. So ta-da, that's how it works. So actually, we just need to send out. But that's so cool that we are able to send it from here. But I would like to show you some other property functionality, how you are able to reach it from your third party. So for this reason, I'm using, I don't have any third party actually in my home office, but I'm able to show you a very, very simplified way to make a control. So I'll open a PuTTY. I hope everyone familiar with this small terminal application. So I just run PuTTY, this one. And in here, I type my IP address, my MMX 8x4 IP address, 192.168.1.60. This is my IP, and the port is the port number, which will be found in this page. And in the protocol guide is 6127 over the time for Lightware protocol, the version 3. And this protocol is not SSH, not Telnet, but this is raw communication. So I just click on open, and I have an empty window. Okay, so what I'm able to do, so I'm able to use this protocol guide, or I'm able to use the Open API guide. So right now, I just enlarge this, just to hide the other one. So if I hit enter, nothing happens. So I start typing my protocol. So get space and slash. Something comes back. So what does it mean? It means that the protocol responds. So now I'm able to put my paste my comment. So I just send set media relay port 1 to output as, let's say, open that port. Oh, it entered to give the carriage return line feed. Ta-da! My light is off. So let's turn back it on, like close the contact. That's how to close. So just to open it again to turn on the light. So this is how to make. Okay, let's do other things just to show how that works. I would like to gather this room pieces down here, signal information. So I would like to have the signal information from that input port 5. So I just need to go get and slash how to find that. So this is the way how to find it. Okay, so this is the media element. So I just go and get /media. Okay, and in the video I have a video, so I just actually copy this and type get space paste get video. Okay, so in the video node I need to find the input 5. So actually I just copy this and get space input 5. And nothing comes. So space again and nothing comes. Why does it happen? Getting a node always respond with a list of new nodes inside the node. So right now there is no new node, so I'm able to find the properties. Why I'm able to find the properties? I just need to type get and the node, and from here I can reach the property with the point and the property name, but I don't know what property names do I have in here. So I need to press the asterisk or send the asterisk or the star, like here, and hit enter. Ta-da! I have all the information that I need to have. Actually, I just need to find this signal present. So there is my signal present. So next time, I just copy this. I just copy this signal present and start hitting enter. So get. Paste this get signal present, and I just get back that value signal present from. Okay, so I unplug my cable. Okay, my motion sensor just detected. Unplug my cable, but it's not nothing happens in here. So what I need to do, I need to get and query the signal present again. Okay, that's 0. So many of you using a polling system to gather the information, but I would like to show you a cool trick not to stress your network and your Lightware device to pull the get query like each 100 milliseconds, but because that's not good. That will make a big stress if you gather many information from the Lightware. Instead of that, I recommend to make a feedback registration to the unit for that particular input port, because we are able to register for feedback for a node. So how to do that? For registering, we just need to use the open, and we just type media /video /input 5, and that's all. We are registered. So actually, I just put back my cable, this cable, and when you start having signal, you will see that something happens. It's sent automatically, and this is what's changed. We have a change feedback. So all you need to do with your third party is start interpreting or parsing your incoming messages from the feedback registration. And from here, you are able to, okay, I need this information. So actually, the signal present is equal to 1. Okay, so the signal present is just changed to 1. So hit some enter, I release the cable, and the signal present went to down 0. So here, so what does it mean? Signal present went away. Okay, but let's say you wouldn't like to use this all the time, just for a short period. What we are able to do, you are able to deregister. For that, we need to close this connection or close the registration. So close video inputs 5, hit enter, and we get a message that feedback registration is closed. So when I put back the cable, there will be no message happening on my third party. So we are not feeding that. So that's the easiest way. And this was all. And the next topic is how to create the scenarios to my room automation panel. So I just close this box and I close this box also. I just get back to my Lightware device controller, and now I connect it to a different device. So if you are able to connect it, click on here, we can close the connection for that particular unit. And now we can turn into another unit, which is the room automation panel. Click on connect, and we are in here. But because this is not a video device, this is a control unit, we are able to see control specific functionalities. So you are able to see the exact same buttons, the rotary like here. You are able to configure it here. So let's do a very quick configuration using our protocol. So for these two buttons, I just would like to make the display on, and this will be the display off. I just can give a name just to know it what's that's functionality later. So this will be display off. Actually, is not needed to set, but later, if you come back to on site like a year later, then it's better to know. And this will be lamp on. Set, and this will be lamp off. Set. Okay. Make my settings. So how I'm able to make? Just click on the button. This will be a TCP message from the room automation panel to the 8x4. So I select a press section. When this button pressed, actually this one, then send a TCP command, and the message will be call /me /cec. It can be copied from the manual. Output 4 colon and send in bracket, and this will be image view on. And we need to fulfill for the full protocol guide. So at the end, we need to have the carriage return line feed. So /x0d, we can form it, and /08 to form the carriage return and line feed. So I just copied it because I need a similar setting on the for the other button, but with the standby. So call media CEC output 4 send image on. I need to fulfill the IP address, which is 192.168.1.60, and the port number is as always 6107. It's okay, and that's all. We are ready. We make this to display off. TCP command, paste it, double click, standby. To make that standby, type the IP 66107. Done. And for this button, lamp on, I just make the same Ethernet command. Message is nearly the same, but this is a setting. So set media relay P1 output echoes, and the lamp on is actually when I close the contact, so sleep and /x0d/x0a. Copy, and IP address same 192.168.1.60. Oh, this is one. This will be 1.6.07 as always. Done. First button, same TCP command. Paste it, but this will be not closed, but open 192.168.1.60. 6107. Okay, and we are done. So how we are able to make test? I just put this. So if I click on this button, actually I didn't label this lamp off. So I just press the button to test. Oh, that's working. I am able to press this to test. Okay, that's working. Let's turn off the display. Test. That's working. Actually, this display requires 11 seconds after you turned it down to get availability to turn back on. So before I'm waiting for that 11 seconds, I test it from here. So it's working nicely, and I'm able to turn on display from here. Yeah, that should work. So as I'm able to do it from the test button, but we are able to do it from here. So I can turn off the display also. So let's say I just send CEC off. Yeah, that's working fine. And actually, as I see, I have just 2 minutes. But on that 2 minutes, I'm going to show you our other nice feature. And that was the last. That will be the last thing for today. I think that's also a lot. I just open another Lightware device controller to connect to my MX 8x4 just to show you, because I cannot show on in a different way. So what I mentioned at the very beginning, I'm going to make a control with the room automation panel to have a functionality of this audio outputs, to make some audio output change. So come back here and click on this button. This is my rotary. Actually, I put it here. So this is my rotary. So, and in here, you are able to make serial communication or Ethernet. My one is Ethernet. IP address of this unit is 192.168.160. 60, and the IP port is like 6107, as always. And in here, you are able to set custom if you have third party, let's say DSP. Let's say you would like to set the CEC volume of the send a CEC command to set the volume, or serial command to the LG. That's we are able to do. But right now, the easiest way to show how we control another Lightware unit, just to select Lightware, and we have different audio setups, generic ones for these Lightware units. What the generic LVR A, B, C, D, blah, blah, blah says, you are able to find it in the user manual of the room automation panel. But right now, I just need to find my MMX 8x4 HT420M. Here we are. Just click on that. Set the audio output port. This port is actually, by protocol, is the output number 6. I mean this one. Set. Ta-da! All the values are set, but you can tweak it. You can copy this. You can fill by yourself. But now I'm just use the easiest way just to show you how this works. Finally, I just need to click on Save to Device, and this is saved. And if I just put this down, just to show you that this will change by the rotation. So actually, if I make a rotation here, you are able to see that's working nice. So I can make a volume change. When I press it, I just move it, as you see it from here. So move, unmove, move, unmove, up, down. So this is how we are able to turn on the display. I just turn on the lamp. So we have plenty of things. Now we have a full, complete automated scenario. So let's say I just turn back the light and the display. So my customer's requirement was, hey Zoltan, if someone enters the room, then please turn on the light. So someone enters, light on. Let's say if someone turn on my room PC, so I just press the button or just put a signal, please turn on my display and put my content there. So soon my PC booting up, turning off my LG by Event Manager, and start feeding my right signal. let's say I would like to make a presentation. I put my laptop signal to make it. Don't need to touch anything, but you are able to program it to these buttons to make a fixed selection. But right now I'm using this. Actually, this is my webinars picture, so same you are able to see. So when I finish my presentation, I'm able to unplug this. In the meantime, I can turn down the lights to not disturb my presentation. And finally, if I turn off my PC, then there will be no signal. So simply, I just unplug this cable for this demo. Then what will happen? There will be no switch, but in the meantime, the display will shut down. So it will be a very small black gap. Maybe you saw, hopefully, and that's all. So our room setup is nearly finished. I think this today's topic was a long journey in many things. So I stop sharing my screen. I just get back my regular camera. So what we did today, we upgraded one of our units, which is the room automation panel. So actually, that's better to upgrade everything to the latest version. Finally, we had a quick walkthrough on the Lightware device controller, and we did setting for the event manager to make the lights up, make the signal back to my source, and turn on my display. So, and we configured the room automation panel finally with an audio tweaking for the Lightware. Also, we get into the third-party control by how to use our Lightware Open API, which is the Lightware version 3 protocol. So that was I wanted to talk about. Let's see if you have questions, and let's see if Tamás can pick up some special question, and let's see if I can answer to you, hopefully.
Thank you, Zoltán. Yes, of course, we got questions, and I think we have little time to pick up some of them. So that can be interesting, all for you. So the first question was related to the matrix. And the question was whether the network ports are interconnected together or not.
Actually, I think I don't get the question.
Okay, so the question is the network ports on the matrix on an MMX 8x4.
Yes.
Are they connected together to the same LAN or they are separated?
Yeah, actually we have some connections here. So if I just unplug just to show it. So actually in the top boards there are boards inside. So this port and this port connected to here to this port. So
can
actually
you switch the camera, because the other camera shows the matrix.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you are right. Thank you so much. Okay, so actually this port and this port and this port is connected to one piece of switch inside. So if you connect to your main network from here, you will have the same functionality from here, the same network information, so the same traffic. And we provide this short type of cables just to connect it to our output boards. So right now, this unit, which is connected to my HDBaseT transmitter, is not connected to the network, so I won't able to reach that. But if I use these small patch cables, like this way, to connect to inputs, this is for the input ports, and for the input ports here, then I make the connection from here to this lower board, and in here I'm able to have the network connection from this port to all of the ports. So that's why I have like two for the input port section and the output port section. If you don't need to have this functionality, you are able to go to Lightware device controller, and there is a control Ethernet section, and you are able to turn off all the Ethernet capabilities port by port, actually. If you need, I can go back. I can do a quick view on that.
I think you mentioned how to disable the Ethernet port.
Yeah,
or maybe.
so I just go to Lightware device controller. Let me enlarge it. So just pick up the 8x4, connect there, and in the control section, click on that. We have an Ethernet. Click on that, and we have actually okay. I just make okay. In here we have the CPU. I cannot disable that, but for the control, this control port, let me show like a different way just to show off with my camera. Yeah. So control port is actually this one. This one. The TPS uplink output port, this can be disabled also. The TPS output port, it's actually this connector. You can disable that one. The input port is this one. You are able to disable. This one also can be disabled. This one also. This one also. Okay, I just need to click. This one also. And this one. And this one. So each piece of port, you have it in here. You are able to click on enable, and if you proceed, there will be no network on that. So we will cut that instantly from inside because we just disable that network functionality for that network switch chip. We have it inside the boards and in the big card in the main unit. So actually, that's how it works. I hope it was clear. If not, then please let me know.
Okay, thank you. Another question was about this HDBaseT error rates logging. And the question was that how long you can run the capture. Do you know? Of course, if you open the window, then it starts to log. And how long can you run this capture?
Okay, so if you open the Lightware device controller and you keep running that Lightware device controller till you don't close that window, then you are able to have that information. Actually, let me jump back again. So share my screen. I get back to crosspoints and table. This is my HDBaseT source. Let's roll down to cable diagnostics. That's what we need. And let's say we have, I just put signal just to have an incoming signal. But okay, do it in a different way. You don't have anything here. Why? Because we are in automatic mode. If I turn back this unit, this port to HDBaseT mode all the time, then it will be connected all the time. So let's close this box and have this. So you see that we have information and we have table and we have charts here up and running. So this will run all the time. Why? Because the Lightware device controller itself can start registering for this feedback, because this information can be reached over the same protocol. So actually, you are able to go to advanced view. You are able to go to video, like input one first, and from here you are able to have the data, which is like let me find you now in the remote, because this is the remote device and the remote source device we connected to. So here are the information. So if I get back to general, you're able to see that this information is the exact same representing in the protocol. So what we are doing right now, if I click on the table or the chart, the Lightware device controller starts opening for feedback registration, and if this property is changed, then it will drop a new message to when it's changing. So it's this node is actually planned to give feedback each second. So if you register for this chart or table or for this protocol property, then you will have a constant populating message. But if you see that we see the chart and it comes and goes, that's okay. Let's leave this window open for a day. You will just see the last one, but once you come back and export data, you are able to have an Excel sheet, cable diagnostic, and once you run that downloads, once you open it with Excel, then you are able to make your own chart just to see when it's happened. So yeah, we need to make it comma separated to have the right CSV import. I didn't import it in the right way. So you have all the information by timestamps from here. So just leave it open. This window or this part, and let's say if you have dropouts, just come back after, export the data, put it in your Excel, and that's how it works. Or if you won't like to do that, then you are able to make a script which start listening on the state changes of this HDBaseT stat, the TX error rate, and the RX error rate, and you can gather this information from your third party. Also,
that's why I wanted to mention that, of course, if you need to gather data about HDBaseT properties on several ports, and you have an external system, then of course you can create a logging application, since the matrix has an open API. So all these properties that the LDC uses, of course, are available from any kind of outside control.
Exactly. And I just show you one more quick thing. Usually if you deploy your system in the right way and your cable is good, then you may just have a cable pulled out. That can be traced by the event manager also. So you can gather this information like video. If okay, I don't find it right here. That's a problem. General, yeah, it should be general. If this is HDBaseT, so this is if TPS link changes to connected on a port or changes to disconnect. So let's say if I unplug this on port 1, then something should happen. So I unplug this just to see. No, this is not for input 1. Changes. Yeah, I just need to enable my events. Okay, so now it should work. So actually, you are able to register for the feedback changes in here. You can get link status when there is a connection, or when it's no connection. You can gather for all the input ports. You are able to trigger an action. Let's say you have a system. You can post Ethernet message, or you can feed a serial message to them. So you can make events for that also. So actually,
okay, thank you. I think that was a real deep answer for the question.
Yeah.
And detailed. So we got some really great questions. Even maybe some of them are not answered, but we are going to check them, and and we will share that ones that can be interesting for anyone in a follow-up email, of course, with the answers as well. Also, this webinar has been recorded, so we are going to send you the link to the video file as well. Okay, so I think we are finished. I would like to thank all of you for joining us today, and I hope that you found this webinar useful and interesting. When we stop the broadcast, you will be prompted to fill out a short survey. We would appreciate if you gave us your feedback. Please visit our homepage at www.lightware.com. At the training session on the training menu, you can check our upcoming webinars. We add new topics, new dates regularly, so I hope to see you in our next webinars as well. So thanks for joining, stay safe, and bye-bye.
Hello everyone, bye-bye.